In this video, we are going to see a new feature of C# 13, and that is params collections. Basically, in the past, we're only able to use params with arrays, but now we can use lists, enumerables, spam, and so much more. Let's see an example. First, let's see that if I want to create a function that uses params, I can do the following. I can say void compute average. Just as an example, I can say params, and in the past I was obligated to use an array, for example, of integers, and I will say values, and then these params here allows me to say the following. I can say compute average 1 and 2, or I can say, for example, 1, 2, and 3, or I can say whatever number of parameters I want. As you can see, I can use whatever amount of parameters I want. I can even say no parameters, and this will work. This will compile. That is the magic that we get when using params, that I don't have to explicitly instantiate a new array, but instead I can freely use this method that I have here with as many parameters as I want. That is great, that is fine, and I can use it. I can say, for example, console write line. Let's say that I want to write on the console the average of the numbers. So I can say values sum to sum them or add them, and values length to get the average. And that is fine, that works. As you can see here, that compiles. But as I said before, in the past we're obligated to use an array, but now we have more freedom. For example, I can come here, and instead of saying int, I can say list of integers, and let me delete this. And let me say here list, for example, and here I have to say count. But you may be wondering, and by the way, let me show you that this compiles. I can use a list version and this will work. You may be wondering, okay, but why would we want to do this? Well, for example, because now with a list we have more freedom about what we can do with this collection. For example, let's say that I want to insert a value into the first element of this collection. With a list, that is very easy. With an array, it is very hard. Let's see that here I can say values insert, and I will insert a value in the first position. Like, for example, I don't know, -1. It doesn't matter what it is. The thing is that now we have more freedom about what we can do with our collection of values, which we get using a params. And by the way, if you want to learn more about C#, buy my Udemy course today. In it, you are going to go from 0 to hero. Link with a discount in the description of this video. Alright, so let's continue. Now, something else that we can do is that if instead of flexibility, like this list, we want more efficiency, we can use a spam. Let's see that. Let's see that I can come here. Let me copy this and paste it here. And let's see that I can say read only spam, and you are going to see that. And by the way, let me change this to spam. We are going to see that yes, indeed, we cannot do insert because this read only spam is way more efficient, but it is more limited. We can do this, and also we can do this. We can't even use the sum function. We have to do the sum manually, but that is fine because we want the speed, and that means that we have to write more code. So let me say here var sum equal to 0, and then I will say 4, and let me say here values length. I will say length here, and I will say that I will add the values of my span. So values I, alright, and then here I can say sum, and here I can say length also, and that's it. It is the same. We're calculating the average of the numbers, but with this read-only spam, we're going to use way less memory allocation, and also it will be faster. Therefore, here as you can see, and let me use it by the way, let me say this, you can see that this compiles. As you can see here, it compiles, so we get the syntactic sugarness that we get from params, but now with more flexibility, because now we can pass a list, we can pass a span, we can pass an enumerable, or whatever we want.